Welcome to the FIA Formula 3 Championship, and the feature is coming tomorrow here. It's time for sprinting in Monaco. Saturday always is going to be the entertaining one. Let's get ready for the green lights. Let's check in, first of all, with your starting grid.
Brad Benavides has raced here in Formula 2. He is 19th. Tasana Bowinger Puvazak then is on row 9 alongside Ivan Dominguez, a personal best in qualifying terms for him. Then it is Joshua Dufek alongside Noah Stromstead out of the top 12 for the first time this season. He has an uphill battle, the driver second in the championship. Ugo Ugochukwu next, Louis Sharp just missing out on that top 12, and then it is Nikola Solov who will be on pole position for the first time tomorrow. Roman Belinsky will be on the front row for the first time tomorrow. Mari Boyer, he took a best qualifying yesterday, but today it is 10th place for him alongside Callum Voisin, a great chance for points. Then Rafael Kamara, 3-place grid drop for both races. We'll get into that in a sec. Noel Leon is alongside him. Tim Tramnitz is next along, Charlie Wirtz alongside him. Tim Tramnitz had a podium here last year. Tuukka Tappinen is on row 2. Great chance for him to score some points over Rafa Kamara. Lawrence Van Hoopen, the last time he was on a Formula 3 podium was here last year. Martinius Stenchorn looking to return to the podium and the top step. And then on pole position, Alessandro Giusti looking to get to the top step for the first time. Okay, Gary, we mentioned some penalties in there. A 3-place grid drop first for Rafael Kamara. Let's do that before we come to Nicola Lacorte. He has a 3-place grid drop for both races for violation of minimum delta time under the red flag. Talk us through that one.
Yeah, so exactly when the red flag comes out, to try and make sure the drivers are at a slow, safe speed to come back, they have a delta on the dashboard, which they have to stay below to keep them slow. And he was above that delta time for 3 sectors of the course. So it wasn't as if it caught him by surprise and it was 1, it was 3 sectors. And although the stewards deemed it to be safe in the way he was driving, it's a fairly black and white penalty that if you are above that delta time, then you get a grid penalty. And that's
Yeah, sadly, that's much as what has happened. Alongside me in the commentary box is Omi, and Omi, welcome to you. If my computer decides to actually want to work, because it's having an awesome paddy at the moment about things, so we'll try and get that working. But hello, Omi, how are you doing, my friend? Oh.
Hello, I'm doing well, looking forward to Formula 3 sprinting today as well. It's going to be quite a lot of fun. Cannot wait for this one to get going as GST tries to go for a maiden win in FIA Formula 3.
Let's hear what some of the drivers have to say about it then as they come through down into the tunnel section. Let's hear some interviews from the top 3 in reverse grid order. Boyer has been noted for a starting procedure infringement already. Omi, just talk us through what we've got looking forward to here today. How many laps ahead of us?
So it's going to be really, really fun. So of course we have 40 minutes on the clock for all of these drivers. All of them, the 30, are going to look to try to keep it clean. Safety cars, a big factor in FIA Formula 3 around the streets of Monaco. We usually get that quite a bit. Last year we even had a red flag due to a pile-up on lap number 1. So anything is possible. It's Formula 3 on the streets of Monaco. Usually the signs lead to it being chaotic, but you've got the experienced Stenchorn behind GST, so it could be a fascinating fight for the front, and who knows, maybe even a change of lead, especially when it comes down to the run towards Saint-Deroux, which the run towards Saint-Deroux is basically everything here in Monaco on the opening lap. So it's very, very vital as the drivers bring it to the end of their formation laps.
Yeah, we're in a bit of a chaotic mood at the moment with no JT today. Our devices are literally being strung across the broadcast as well, with touring cars on the main laptop. Megan's laptop now taking Omi's TV pictures to you as well. And yeah, we're having to swap in around a lot today. But this is Monaco. This is the action. Alessandro Giusti on pole position. Martin Steinshaw in second. Lawrence Van Hoopen running in third. Fourth goes for Tuukka Tappinen. Charlie Wirtz fifth. Tim Tramnitz sixth. Go on. Oh, we've got Is that a staller? Yeah, the 22 stall on the way to the grid, mate. And this will be an aborted start. Oh, hang on, now it's 11. Is it Boyer? No, he's through. It's transported to Pruvazak, who's now not. Well, what happened there then? A little bit of a delayed start.
Stopped.
And look, one of the VARs stalling on the way into the grid. And, well, race control not going to like. Yeah, look, on the way into the pit lane, we've got a staller. Now, looking
That's Dominguez.
Yeah, Roman Dominguez, who's now down to go out of it in the Van Aert Racing. Can he get it into gear? It looks like
Come on, get into the pits.
Oh, just push it up. We should be okay. They can start the race and push the car into the pit lane. We should be okay if they just close it. I think Dominguez is going to be able to fire it up, but we are waiting for the lights to come on. So 29 cars will take the start here. How many before we reach the end? Will we even have an actual start, or are they going to abort it? What will they do? They're going for it. They're going for the start. Green flag at the back. Lights on. In Monaco. We have all 5 lights ahead of us. It's lights out. And it's a poor start from our pole sitter, Alessandro Gristi, as well. He swamps down towards turn 1. Into the lead goes Martinez Steinshaw. It's a short run into Sandovan. Already several drivers having to cut the corner as they head up Beau Rivage towards Massenet and through Casino Square. This was the crunch point. You can't go too wide. Everyone looks to be okay. Still yellow flags at the moment in that last sector. But crucially, though, Omi, everyone through the first sector safely.
Leon just ahead of Kamara there as well. It was Ugo Gachikra who was really having to cut the opening chicane of the circuit. Kamara with a late lunge. Oh no, Leon, super stuff from him, but a terrible getaway for GST. He's dropped all the way to 4th from the podium positions now as we make our way through the hairpin. It's super tight as Leon is being attacked.
Stench, oh, contact into the wall and out of the race. Drama already. That was Ugo Gachikra who's in trouble, but he was, I think, got away with it. But one of the primers have slammed into the wall. The yellow flags are out.
Yeah.
Didn't see who it was from my angle of the camera. Oh, and we got a multi-car pile up at the exit. This will be a red flag, just like in 96 with Hakkinen, Schumacher and Irvine. And there's a puncture further back. So this will have to be a red flag because the track's effectively blocked. Safety cars coming out though, Omi.
Yeah, so it was Leon who was the Prema car that we saw heading into the barrier. It's all chaos. I believe it's Dominguez, rather Ramos and Headley, who are both off the road. Dominguez will be able to try continue and he'll catch up, but Ramos and Headley look to be the ART and Van Amersfoort who have come to contact as we take a look at them now.
Yep, so Headley in there too. Safety car is out. This will be a delay at the moment. Noel Leon also in trouble. He's dropping down our timing tower. So Martin Steinshaw's got it from Tuka Tappinen, Lawrence Van Hopen, James Headley and Ivan Dominguez have come together at Portier. And, well, it just gets worse, doesn't it, really? James, yes. Yeah, I don't think that is Ivan Dominguez. So we saw, there he is, out of the race. Noel Leon, he was the framer who touched the wall. And it is Dominguez, so he did start the race, but he's ended up right at the back anyway, so terrible start for Dominguez here. As the race now continues behind the safety car, but no sign of a red flag. And that
Lecorte.
Liz Lecorte is out. So Leon, Lecorte, Ramos, Headley and Dominguez out. That's 5 cars on the opening lap of the race. And surely this will have to be a stoppage.
Oh, well, Formula 3 around Monaco started off in an absolutely extraordinary way. I want to see what's happened to Solom.
This will have to be.
They're all having to go on the curb.
This is ridiculous. This has got to be a red flag now. The track is completely blocked. They are having to go onto the curb, which is also, it's a steep drop off there actually. So I'm surprised they're doing that. I expect a red flag, although would they like to red flag it? It's only a 40-minute race.
Yeah, and I think they are going to be risking being too tight with FP3 as well, which of course is going to be coming up very, very shortly. after this. In between, I've set up a redirect from this F3 race. You're going to be heading to the Porsche Super Cup, and then you'll be back with us over at Formula 1. So yeah, in between, you're going to be able to watch the Super Cup qualifying from yesterday. So in terms of Monaco action, we've got quite a lot going on. Okay, we're going to go back to the race start. Poor start immediately from GSD. Dominguez is going to leave the pit lane further back, but GSD found himself really dropping down. Now, I'm going to be interested to see what's happened to Solov. Ugo Gachuku has to cut the corner, along with one of the other Tridents. Let's hear from our pole sitter.
What a joke.
He's angry. I mean, when you lose from pole position all the way to the back, you have to feel angry. It's always like when you are on pole at Monaco, it should be a guaranteed victory, especially in a race with no pit stop. Right. We're taking a look down to the braking zone. Around the outside goes Noel Leon, and he is able to make the move on Rafa Kamara. We're going to take a look at a replay of Bruno Del Pino. He gets a flying start. Superb stuff from Bruno Del Pino heading down to Sanderot. And that is incredible stuff by him as we went down to the braking zone. So that was really, really close and really, really tight between all of our contenders as well. Let's quickly take a look at the chat as well. What an issue start, but seriously 32 cars is too many. Yes, 30, as you correctly say as well. Plug also saying hello, so welcome to everyone. We're taking a look on board with Callum Woisen heading down to the braking zone. Kamara just edges out Leon. That gives the chance for Woisen to go down the inside, and then they very nearly come to blows, but it was a great attempt by Callum Woisen here on this opening lap.
Yeah, and it's going to be the... Oh, Vossing gets sent up in the air. How does the contact happen with Lacorte? Here we go. Here's Dominguez. Oh! Well, that's what's happened to everybody else.
He overstood the corner and drove into me completely. Hey.
So Dominguez hits Lacorte, and then it's just a chain reaction as they all get spun around and punted.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's why Ramos also out, yeah.
Yeah, so we get Ramos left on the scene. Dominguez recovers well as well on that opening lap. I still want to see what's happened to Solov because he's dropped so many positions.
He's 25th now in the running order. Yeah, it's just all it says in our commentary tab here is that he's fallen from 12th to 25th on the opening lap.
Yeah, something dramatic must have happened for him on that opening tour, which we haven't been able to see. Okay, recovery process now beginning on Dominguez and Headley. Luckily, we do have some of the best marshals in the world here at Monaco, which is what we need. So that's quite good as well. And they definitely needed it for the Porsche Super Cup yesterday in their qualifying session, which, as I mentioned, you'll see later on. So we're not going to spoil too much of that, but definitely tune into that as well. So the car's now being cleared. The Van Amersfoort first of all of Ramos, but Stenchel now leading the way. He just has to try control things, but I'd say quite a chaotic start, to be fair. Last year we had just a big mass pile-up. This year we've had so many different cars absolutely everywhere.
Just causing drama after drama after drama, really, isn't it, as well? But I suppose that's the way we like it in this series. Just gives us a little bit more of entertainment. And certainly at the moment we are entertained. So,
ART.
Yeah.
And then we have MP 4th and 5th, and then 5th, 6th and 7th. So we've got a nice order going on there.
So as things stand then, it's actually comical because it says that James Headley resumed and then stopped. But that's because the marshals are pushing him down the hill to the secondary, which is spot on, because they've run out of room. They've had to push him all the way down to Portier, and now the double yellows are out, and yeah, they've still got a mess going on down there as well. It's such a tight circuit here in Monaco. Of course, in the olden days, that barrier there at the exit wasn't there. As we take a look on board, brilliant start from Martin and Steinshaw. The pole sitter of Gusti just did not get going at all. Steinshaw had it so easy to turn one, and now he's been gifted the lead, and High-Tech need that here after their miserable couple of weeks.
They absolutely do need it. Any moments that can definitely get some joyful moments in the team. Lawrence Van Hoopen having to react, but being beaten by Chuka Tappen and the Flying Finn going through into second position as well by the time we got down to Sanderot. I want to know what audio I'm hearing as well coming in. Is that the touring car audio that I can hear in the background?
It is, yes, yes. Hang on, sorry, are you on the wrong microphone? Oh, you are. Hang on a minute. There you go.
Yes, I want to hear track noise.
Sorry,
we
Megan's
go.
laptop was set up wrong. You could have mentioned that about 10 minutes ago.
Well, to be fair, I didn't even notice until it really. I mean, the sound only comes through Megan's laptop when you're the one who's talking anyway, so I don't expect any sound when I'm talking.
Really?
Because, because with how the Discord's settings are, we've had this issue where we can't actually hear the actual on-track stuff sometimes when you're not talking. But that's not something for us to touch right now.
Well, I'll have it. Give me 1 minute. We're on battle screen.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, here we go. I'm just having a quick look to see if on Megan's laptop. No. Crisp's not on. There you go, how's that?
Yeah, sounds like it's working now.
Lovely.
Brilliant.
Just
Okay, maybe turn that slightly down now. Now I can hear myself. It's all a bit glitchy.
Oh, you're joking me now. Oh, well, it's better on my laptop, isn't it, than Megan's?
Yeah, slightly better. But yeah, we'll have to get that fixed because it's not helpful when we can't hear the national anthems or other stuff sometimes. So yeah, hopefully that will all be fixed. That will all be sorted. Moving forward.
How's that?
So we can. I think I can hear myself. Yeah.
Hang on.
I mean, we're using the safety car to fix something.
Yeah, how's it? How's this then, as we hear from Callum Vozen?
Well, I'm going to talk you through Callum Vozen diving down the inside, and it looks like it is good as well. So he got ahead of Leon. Leon fought back up the inside of Kamara, then they very nearly came to blows. Voizen's going to get sent up in the air. He made contact with Leon, that's who went into the wall.
Aggressive, they hit me twice.
What the hell was he doing so aggressive? He hit me twice on that radio message. Yes, it's the touring cars on the side that I have. And I'm just keeping my thumb pressed against the speaker because last night we lost audio for 20 minutes during the truck race in the middle of the night. So I'm just checking that everything's still running okay.
I'll have to do that later, to be fair.
I think yours will be fine, just because my MacBook's a bit different. But yes, Omi will be streaming the end of the day because we haven't heard back from JT. He's been very busy. He'll be back with us tomorrow, though, taking over the touring car producing role, which is always good. Nightmare what we're going to have later. Oh yeah, and Super Cup, yeah. And at this rate, every other series, if we keep having safety cars. 28 minutes to go. Lap 6 now. Right, now the safety car should come in. Unless there's a problem at the exit here of Portier. Nope. Oh, medical car's there. The medical car's down at Portier. Probably picking up some drivers.
Yeah, giving them a bit of a trip back as well. Their day ending very, very early, and right now they make their way through the Nouvelle chicane, and well, it would be helpful if we could get it in at the end of this lap to get this race going and properly started after a bit of a chaotic start. It's going to be interesting to see whether Centron is going to be able to maintain it to keep the lead, but these are still young drivers, lots of pressure on them, so around Monaco there could be errors, there could be mistakes from our leaders, so race victory not always secure.
Sadly not, especially in a Formula 3 when the safety cars breed safety cars and a little bit of accidents here, there and everywhere. There's the drone shot, not the helicopter shot, of Monaco. There you go, some wonderful exclusive angles from F1 TV this weekend if you're watching along. So lap 7 now behind the safety car. It should be in this lap.
Safety car race, that is. FIA Formula 3 at Monaco as well. Continuing its story. So, also, just quickly looking at the chat, because we've got a couple of people who are in there. Still Glenn saying Sharp in the lead. Well, unfortunately not the case right now, as you correct yourself. But Louis Sharp, it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. And I think he'll do well. He'll try get into the. He'll try score some decent points today with Louis Sharp. So keep an eye on him as well.
They've got a Solov is into the pit lane, and they are taking the coke off the engine cover. It's called the coke, and they're having a look at the top half, and they're taking the side pods off as well. Yeah, Nicholas Off, 6th in the standings, pole sitter for tomorrow's feature race, is having a sprint race to forget about.
That's happened quite a few times, to be fair, considering how it's gone for Rafa Kamara. Okay, we're waiting for that message, which is going to tell us that the safety car is ending. There's no reason why it cannot be in at the end of this lap. I thought so far everything's been on point this weekend. It's been a lot more easier, of course, with a lot more time, with F2, F3 and Porsche Quali all having their own big slots. So in case there's red flags, there's no drama like Imola, where we're having to cancel a session when it's 6 minutes still to go. Yeah, we're not having any of that mess, luckily. But we're back to Saturday, back to Sundays, back to normals with tight schedules for all of these series.
There's the diamond screen. That's opposite the swimming pool section. Medical car's
still
in.
not coming in.
Medical card just came in, so that's why they couldn't do it. The medical card took ages to come in there. I don't even know either why that safety car was there. Right, now it should be this lap. Come on, race control. There's nothing left on the circuit. It should be safety car in this lap.
Yes, it should be, if we are following normal routine, and then who knows, we'll probably end up with another car in the water, and then we'll be back for safety car. That's how the racing goes, and that's the hard task for Central to try and control these safety car restarts as well, but they're all making their way through. Nicholas heading back out onto the circuit.
There is James Headley back. That's in the back of the pit lane. And he was the one who needed to be taken to the medical centre. So James Headley's going to the medical centre. Interesting.
Yeah. James Headley, who made his Formula 3 debut here 1 year ago. We have Quint saying you guys are so much better than Chris McCarthy and Gary Caffett. Thank you. Well, we do provide alternate commentary. In case you aren't fans of the World Feed, you can come over and listen to it. So thank you very much. Safety cars ending.
Thank God for that. We've waited long enough. So it's Stanshaw. Right, Stanshaw or Stenshaw? You keep having a go at me. I can see you rolling your eyes there.
I'm not rolling my eyes. I'm just getting my timings back up.
Martin is Stenshaw, isn't it?
Central, yes.
Yeah. Keep going Stein because Ricky Steinhaus and then Stenhouse. JT keeps correcting me, but it's both pronunciations are correct there. So we're going to head back to green flag here. Stenshaw on top from Tappinen, Van Hopen, and look out for Tuukka Tappinen. We know what he can do on road courses that are super tight and narrow. I was going to say night and tarot, but either way. Here we go. Remember what happened to Macau? Ugo Ugachu, watch out for him as well, down in 12th position. Out of the last corner. And the Monaco sprint for Formula 3 at racing speeds is go! Finally, and now in towards the first corner. We're having to warm some of the tyres coming back there as well. Charlie Verts doing so in 6th position. And it's very much single file through Saint-Devot, up through Beau Rivage to Massenet. No one going for a move just yet. However, a few little changing positions down where with Callum Vosin and Mauri Boyer. Looked like as well that Vosin was going to have a little look, but Boyer's got him covered up as they head down to Mirabeau.
Very, very tidy stuff from the field, exactly what they needed. Now we're going to arrive down to the hairpin to see whether anyone can try and make some dive bombs. They're all getting the cars rotated and slowed down. Callum Woysin looking for his opportunity. He's behind Mauri Boyer, of course, the driver, still under investigation. We go to Portier and now through the tunnel, and we are properly back and racing. The Formula 3 Central now trying to break clear of the front.
Van Hopen looked like he was going to have a little lunge on Tuukka Tappinen into the Nouvelle chicane. He thought better of it. No one is going for that overtake though, as what we expected might happen. As they screw round into the swimming pool chicane. And a nasty bump on entry now that's been losing out the rears of the F3s and F2s. How was it in the Porsches, Omi? Did anyone get sideways through there or did they nail it down?
Well, the Porsches are able to ride those sausage curves a lot more better, and they are able to get that well controlled. However, they struggle more in the braking zone. So yeah, there's a lot of issues going on in the supercar in terms of contact and everything, in terms of with barriers and stuff stuff like that, which you'll be able to see in a few moments with the Super Cup qualifying premiere, which will be on directly after this as well. 29 people currently watching, so one of our highest viewerships of Formula 3 that we've had so far. So yes, hello everyone, great to have your company.
Yeah, stay with us as well, because we have got Formula 3, Formula 2, Formula 1, the Porsches as well, and we've got the entire day of the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship on JB Motorsports 2. You can join us for coverage of MotoGP as Callum Vosin just nudging his front nose against the back of Mari Boya as they came down through Mirabeau. So a little bit of a scratch as they head into the tunnel section now. Through past the tunnel section's an in and out for the car park in the hotel. That's just above the tunnel section as well. So don't ask for a ground floor in the hotel above the tunnel. You'll be shaken awake at what is 11:08 a.m. It's part of the reason that it's so late actually here in Monaco at the starting times as well. Making sure that everybody's awake. And we went on a Thursday, so F3, F2 have one a day across the weekend. Porsches don't do Saturday at all, and this is the replay down to the braking zone, turn 10, a lock up, and a jump, skip, and a hop over the curbs as well.
Yeah,
and that was
absolutely.
That was Hugo Couture who nearly went into the barrier, but the second McLaren livery cut the corner earlier on.
Yeah, indeed, this was the replay of Callum Boys and what we saw earlier on into the back of Mari Boya. But those are the margins the drivers are pushing on at. They are really trying to extract absolutely everything. As we take a look at the ARTs, who aren't separated by anything. Stention's pulling up further up the road, but can Van Hopen make the move on his teammate? He's got a spot on the podium, he's got GSD directly in behind, and in Formula 3, you have got smaller cars, and of course, there is an opportunity to try and make some dive bombs around this circuit. It's going to be risky, it could be contact, but there is going to be more chances than the drivers do get in Formula 1. We still have the same challenge though for everyone in this field. You need some great exits and you have to hope for some mistakes from your rivals. Benavides turn 10, leaving the track and gaining an advantage has been noted.
Down to the braking zone then, Charlie Vert's got the fastest first sector of anybody at 23.575. He's running in 6th position. We saw he was warming his tyres up. Estenshaw has increased his gap. It's now 1.4 sec, now 2.0 as well. So he's 2 seconds ahead of Tuka Tappinen. That is quite a large margin, as that's a relief to see. Santiago Ramos is been released from the medical centre, as so has Nicholas Lecorte. So both them okay. James Headley has gone to the medical centre, however. And the only thing I can assume, Omi, is the fact is that maybe a bit of wrist they want to check out, because no power steering in this car, and the wheels did interlock, so it would have jammed the wheel up quite quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to make sure the drivers are okay, and then they can get prep going for tomorrow in what ways they approach the feature race. It's unfortunate what's happened today, but they'll turn their full attention to what's going to come their way tomorrow when all of the points are on the line. Grand Prix Sunday, so they're all going to be going on the attack, and it's going to be really fascinating to see how that is going to play out. So Delpino and Zagazzetta, that's been leaving the track and gaining an advantage. That is under investigation at this stage. A gap that was 2 seconds has come down to 1.9, has come down to 9/10. It really looks like Stenchon has had a bad couple of corners, and Tappinen is really closing in. Is there possibly even an issue for Stenchon? Let's hope everything is okay for him. He's really reduced in time.
That's a weird situation of how quickly he's lost 2 seconds. Gap now 0.5 as they fly through. Yeah, I'm of the opinion that could be a little bit more dangerous than we think it is. So just keep an eye on that. As Charlie Vert's under pressure from his teammate Rafa Kamara. Kamara has been dominating this championship so far. Time and time again, he's there. Always faster, always quicker. Championship, well, 3 poles in a row up until this race here in Monaco.
That might pick for the title as well. He was Rafa Kamara. From what I saw in Fracas, was able to bring that here to Formula 3. It looks like he's brought his talent as well with that. So it's really, really nice to see Kamara doing well. Of course, the feature race, I think it was a bit of a reality check that it won't be just a complete domination, and there's still room of improvements when it comes to Kamara's driving. It looked absolutely perfect. It looked absolutely brilliant from the start of the season up until the moment in the feature race. Of course, sprint race haven't been going well, but at the feature race, the tyres fell off the cliff. He couldn't preserve them all the way to the end, and it cost him, and it meant that he finished in third, Stromstead and Ramos battle to the end with Santiago Ramos taking the win. Voisin is really pushing hard. All road and motorsport cars together. Voisin really wants to get past Boyer, and he is glued to the back of the camper. And he will definitely, at some point, JB, be throwing some form of dive bomb.
Oh, yeah, and it's going to be either the Nouvelle Chicane or at Saint-Devote, the two realistic paths to check you can do. Wilson trying to go to the outside, Boyer defending inside, but Boyer's made an error coming through the Nouvelle Chicane, and now Callum Wilson trying to go around the outside down towards to back. That is never a move that's going to be on, but he's got a great slipstream through the swimming pool section. Surely not coming into that part of the track on the inside, no, but this is Callum Wilson now sensing an opportunity. Mary Boyer is completely loose, and Wilson wants through.
Is he going to get through, though? That is the question. He's all over the road. In the background as well. Belinsky having to defend. Ugo Gachuka trying to go on the charge. Let's see whether Callum Wilson can make the move into Saint-Devote.
This will be brave round the outside. In towards turn one. He's going for it. Trying to look on the inside. It's not going to work out as they head through. Up the hill we go now. And yeah, there's moves further on back into... Yellow flag's out. Did someone hit the wall? Well, Solo's a lap down, that's not him. No one's dropped down massively. Green flag now, I think someone's locked up. No, yellow flag's back out. I think someone's off at Saint-Devote.
Stromstead has dropped down a couple of positions, so I think it possibly could be related with him as well. We've got to green, we've got to yellow, we've got back to the yellows again, and it's Stromstead with a puncher.
I reckon he's whacked the barrier at the exit, and that's what, yeah, so he's just lost it loose. Yeah, Stromstead has dropped down. And it was one of the Tridents I saw in the back of shot going very wide. I thought he would hit the barrier. Let's take a replay of it. Yeah, it was Noah Stromstead who has hit the barrier. So he tries to go on the inside line, gets the front wing gone, and he's going to lose the rear. Yeah, there we go. So wing damage and puncture. So yellow's at turn one for debris. Come.
So he made contact with Brad Benavidez as he went, as he tried to go down the inside, but he was making a bit of a doofek, but he actually hits Brad Benavidez. So I mean, one overtake around Monaco is enough, but he was a little bit too far ahead, so it actually made contact with the AIX a couple of meters on as well. So that's disappointing for him.
Slippery surface flag out then as the debris is right on the racing line. At turn one, they might have to deploy the virtual safety car to clean it up. It's what it's designed for. Race directors, please remember that as we fly through once again. Lap 15 of 23, 14 complete with 14 minutes to go here. And Noah Stromstead has made it to the pit lane. That is good news as they fly down into Portier.
You don't want a slippery surface around this circuit. We've already had issues with that this weekend, where we saw a couple of cars go off in the Porsches. Just all of them. We had quite a few go off at once. Okay, Stromstead's made it back to the pit lane. The yellow flags are flying once again. So is this for something unrelated, I wonder? So there we go. Noah Stromstead in the pit lane. And he's going to get that front wing changed. But what else is going on around the circuit, though, is my question.
Who hasn't made it through Sector 2? That's what I'm looking at on my timing screen. Because they're all flying through there. Mangeli. No, he's gone through. Bedoa. No, yeah, Bedoa's gone through.
Is it just debris or something that they were cleaning from each other?
I think it was Marshall's, yeah, because everyone went through Sector 2 okay. I was keeping my eyes peeled on that timing tower to see if anybody wasn't showing up, because no driver tracker for Formula 3 and Formula 2. The teams get it, but we as media don't. There was the yellow flag at pit exit, just getting put in, so you were right, I mean, they picked up that debris at the first corner.
Yes, indeed. Mighty battle going on for second, mighty battle going on for the lead. It is fascinating in this race right now, how it's all playing out. Brad Benavidez, a driver who's raced around here in Formula 2, of course, now trying to show his trade in Formula 3 up against Ugo Ugachukwu. Further back, Gerard G has made an overtake. He's been able to get by on Marin Angeli, so that's the other AIX that's just found himself dropping down the order slightly as we go through. The hairpin Stromstead and Benavidez has been noted for a collision at turn number 1, which is why Stromstead had the puncture. Of course, the other two Tridents are right now together of Charlie Wells just ahead of the driver who has the fastest lap of the race, that is Rafa Kamara.
Potential's now, he's dropped 1.4 seconds across the last 2.5 laps. So what is Tappanen going to do? Catching is one thing, passing is quite another. That term coined by Murray Walker is ever more infamous at Monaco, and Del Pino has got a 10-second time penalty for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. How do you leave the track and gain an advantage at Monaco? How's he just straight-lined the Nouvelle Chicane?
Yeah, either straight line the Nouvelle Chicane or something at turn number 1 through Saint-Deroche with the pit lane exit that there is as well. But yeah, Stenchon, I think, really just, he's absolutely managing by the looks of it. He's dropped the gap from 2 seconds to 5/10. It's all changing around very, very quickly, and then he gains it back as well. So he needs to make sure that no one's in very close range to make an overtake like Gerard G was able to do, as I mentioned, on Marin Angeli. If you can avoid that, then you're in a good position, but that was super late on the brakes by the high-tech. Had to dart right out to avoid hitting the AIX.
Lovely move. Monaco, you can't really do many, so that was a spectacular opportunity for moves on the inside line. Racing continues then. A lot of nervousness in the air, isn't there? You can sense there's people thinking exactly what's going to happen next. Del Pino moving before the signal. And he's been noted for another instance now. Moving before the signal. So overtaking before the green flag was given out? Or moving before the signal for the formation lap. That's very much up in the air of what it could mean. Bit ambiguous, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, everyone doing same old in Monaco.
Indeed. So the Super Cup Premier is just, of course, started. As I mentioned, you'll be redirected after this broadcast, so you can just stay where you are with us in FIA Formula 3's sprint race right now.
I mean, it's a long enough show, so you're not going to miss much of the Porsches. How long was it? Over an hour, you said?
Yes, over an hour. We just had to let yap in that session.
So, Tuka Tappin in P2, holding down now. The gap now back to Stanchon's 1.2. So he's gained another 0.6 of a second on that last lap time. So here we go once more. It's actually the first touring car weekend of the season that none of the JB Motorsports team are trackside. No.
It shows how much we are working hard behind the wheel to get trackside as well. Really, really fun, really, really great
So
to be trackside. Yeah.
out of the opening 5 events, we're trackside for 4 of them. Now that is amazing. Myself personally trackside for 3 of them. Tom did Brands Hatch. Here's a replay then down to turn 1. Oh, like that. That was Brad Bendivas cutting the corner and did let back through Ugo Uguchuru.
Yes, good decision. Good decision indeed. You don't want to get yourself a penalty around these streets. Back to the battle for second place. It's really going to have to be some form of dive bomb move if we are to see Van Hopen get through. But then you of course also have to think about the fact that you are up against your teammate. Every driver for themselves in FIA Formula 3, but you are in the same debrief alongside your teammates later on with the same team. So you don't really want to be getting on the bad side of your Formula 3 teams that give you the opportunity to come here and race across this season and give you the car, most importantly as well. Maybe a spec series, but loads of aspects still have to be nailed by the team to give the drivers a chance to be able to contend at the front.
Only 7 minutes left, plus 1 lap. I'm starting to think if we'd actually make it to the end of this race. Yeah, we should just about do it.
Yeah, earlier on Glenn said they're not going to complete at all the laps in the time limit that they have. They might just be able to do it, but it's close. But yeah, with the way that the safety car was going, I think that was definitely a fair prediction that we may have not made it. And who knows, if we do get any more chaos, then we may still not make it, who knows.
That safety car comes out, we definitely will go to a timed event as well. That's why we have the time counter alongside the lap counter, because several times over the past 2-3 seasons, we've run into that same problem where it is time that decides the race, not the laps. So now it's all set up on the screen constantly. Just Still not happy actually as well with how this race is being a bit processional.
It is Monaco. It is Monaco.
Yeah, this is
at the end of the
Formula
day, it's what we get around this circuit. And then when we do get some great overtakes, then it's all exciting.
Oh, JT's just sent in the information.
Oh, perfect. Time to get my lovely photo while still watching amazing Formula 3 cars go around Monaco. And yeah, they do sound very well from what I've heard as well. These new machines getting to drive around these famous streets for the first time as well, which is great.
That is actually great because now what JT can do, we can, instead of having to pass over and lose out and being solo for free practice 3, I can use JT's laptop now. Oh, all goes well.
You can.
All goes well.
Well, I'd say, well, of course, I'll try to join you as well for that FP3 session, because of course I'm leading Q3 later on today as well. So anything I can going before that. I'm in the pit lane for Q1 and Q2 just so I can build up some of my notes. But yeah, practice 3 I might come on for. However, I'm doing Italian F4, so it might be little bits of Italian, little bits of FP3.
Was I solo because there was literally nobody else around for that?
Well, there was. I don't think there was going to be anyone around, but however, at the same time, we just made you solo just to like make sure that if anyone sees that you're solo, that no one comes in. Just so everyone's aware that session you were solo for.
It's so confusing today. We literally have a Google Drive of the running order for the touring cars, and today we're literally just working around the touring cars because usually it sounds rather selfish, but we throw it to JT and he can take it, and I take some of the other sessions. But yeah, don't worry. Just it's getting busy, you see, at this time of the year. Then Short still faster. Nice. He's got that back gap up to 2.1 seconds, and Van Hopen 0.8 behind Tappinen.
Yes. 1 out of 23. Progressing well this race, and progressing decently as well. Brad Benavides, what's happened with him? Are we just taking a look at the same? No, this time he makes the overtake.
Good move on the inside. Slowly, slowly. Catchy, racy driver. Over the line then. Penultimate lap of the race. Will be lap 22 of 23.
Okay, I'm just going to test to see whether JT's team viewer works. He's told me to quickly test it to make sure everything's good.
Yeah, also, wait to see if it kicks you out. That's another problem we've been having recently.
Well, it never kicks me out, it kicks you out specifically. I don't know why it's specifically you, but...
I don't know either.
Me.
I'd rather test it though, because if you can keep it on, that means that I can ask you to start and stop it.
Yeah.
Production meeting live on air again. Hello. That's how it goes with such a busy day. 2.4, 2.5. Senshaw's just run away. He's in the fastest first sector of anybody. 23.2. 23.6 for Tappinen. Really is a strong opening gambits here as well. Closing gambits, I should say. Mari Boyer. Oh, and he gets a kick up the back from Callum Vosin coming through the chicane, and now he's trying to have a look through, but also coming back is Louis Sharp. Has Sharp gone ahead of Vosin? I think he has.
Yes.
He has, yeah. So Callum Vosin getting in an error, and Roman Belinsky's in there too. So the three Rodins running together. Mari Boyer's caused a little bit of a chain reaction there. So Sharp now into 9th, Vosin down to 10th, and then all just Constantina's up, down out of the tunnel. Well, didn't see that one coming.
It does. Looks like team view is working.
Excellent. We are secured. I don't have to set Megan's laptop up. I can keep that in here. Just helps ever so slightly with things. So it doesn't kick you out then?
Well, yeah, never kicks me out. I guess everyone can quickly see my laptop.
There you go, there's JT stuff. And Omi's laptop. That's our behind the scenes. One day we will actually do a proper behind the scenes video of how we do a weekend. We'll do a vlog and we'll do it from each person's perspective.
Yeah.
That'd be quite fun, actually.
And then we can edit it together.
Yeah. The JB Motorsports Live, everybody films it from their point of view throughout the day, and then we edit it together to see what we all do.
Yeah, to be fair, it would have been good for something like today when I'm waking up at 6 a.m. to do a Porsche Super Cup qualifying.
Over the line, though, Martinez Steinshaw wins the sprint race in FIA Formula 3. Tuukka Tappinen in second, Lawrence Van Hopen in third. And did anybody else think that that race, that finish sort of crept up on us there?
Yeah, I was going to continue waffling.
I was going to say, I looked and saw the checker flags and was what? Seriously, where did that lap go? That was a bit bizarre. We were literally, I said, all right, lap 22, penultimate lap of the race, and all of a sudden, next time we look at the timing tower, it's lap 23. That was a little bit weird. Did that sneak up on it? If you're watching us in the YouTube chat, did that sneak up on you too, back at home? That was bizarre. Steinshaw wins that. Brilliant race for him, Omi, and controlling from the start. This was Callum Vosin, and that moved down at the hairpin.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, so that's where the contact was made, and then being able to get the power down and get by was Louis Sharp at that moment. But a big moment near the end of that race, and that allowed Louis Sharp through as well, which Glenn will be quite happy about in the chat. I can see as well with that moment supporting Louis Sharp on the driver who participated in the Race of Champions, of course, a week before we started our season at Albert Park.
JT's asking what did we want when we messaged him yesterday. Took a tap at him in P2. Great race from him. Nice and smooth. Let's hear from our race winner and head down to the World Fees. And we'll be ready for the podium.
Masterclass. Very well done. Come on, guys. Good race. Yeah, we needed to get first. We deserve that after yesterday. Thank you.
I'd say I agree with that. It was a masterclass out front from him. Perfect race. Got the lead at the start and never looked back.
Yeah, exactly. I would say struggled a bit in qualifying yesterday, but with this reverse grid, took the opportunity to be starting on the front row, make the most of the poor start by Alessandro Gusti, and just controlled it from the front. And as I say, fastest lap of the race as well. So the pace is really definitely there in the car. Yeah,
it really is. And Martinez Stenshaw pulling the car in. Great result for him. High Tech won here with Gabriele Mini in 2023. But Martinez Stenshaw, it's his day today. Sprint race Saturday at Monaco. He takes the top step of the podium at round 4 in FIA Formula 3. A win at Monaco, something he will never forget. Well done. He's on the top step of the podium for the first time in 2025. Well done to Martinez Stenshaw. He is well and truly underway for this season. We saw him on the podium at the very first round, and now he is back there. Tuukka Tappinen, the Ferrari Driver Academy member, returns to the podium once again. He's having a great season, 4th in the championship. We saw him there at Bahrain. He's back there once again. And Lawrence Van Hopen, it's been a difficult start to the season for him, but this should give him all the momentum he needs now to really press on. He really enjoys Monaco, Lawrence Van Hopen, and he's proved that again, once again here today. A great race overall between those three, very competitive with each other, but none of them could quite keep up with Martinez at the end there, Gary.
No, exactly. As we saw that Martinez just stretched the lead, and they came close again. They got within DRS, but as soon as they did that, he was able just to stretch it out, just put another fastest lap in, and get out of that DRS zone again. So he was, like I say, he was always under control, never really under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it was a great drive from him. Well done to Martinez Stenshaw. Superb drive from him Tuukka Tappinen, his debut here as well, so he's a rookie driver, so that's a great performance for him in second place to get on the streets for the first time and get straight on the podium.
Yeah, exactly. And as we saw, we saw there Nicholas Solov finishing a lap down, but the important thing for him, he's got some race experience now around here with this car, with these tyres. So tomorrow, when he lines up on the pole position, he's going to know how this car is going to be during the race.
Yeah, Laurens van Hoopen third, GST, perhaps the nerves getting the better of him, debut here. But let's hear what the drivers have to say in the cool-down room.
Boring race, as usual. Just driving in the train. You guys are doing cool as well? Trying to end a bit, but then... Yeah, I just kept it there. Yeah. I rather take 6 points than lose it. But I'm trying to take fast. Because you're P2, right? Yeah. No, you see was stopped during the start and just one like this. Yeah, it's only on the start brake when we don't take it. Oh, yeah. The water temp went bit high on the start. Yeah. I was one. Yeah, I was really bad. Yeah. I don't understand why they made us wait so long and not just gave us another lap. Yeah. Yeah, I think there was an issue on the back. Yeah, like my engineer told me they were stopped in the T17 or something. Yeah. You have the fastest lap? Second last lap, but it was quite close. Kamara was like...
Interesting to hear them talk about the start as well. Do you think that long hold at the start caused would have played any kind of part into what we saw happen at the start?
Yeah, that definitely doesn't help with the nerves, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, when you start in pole position, as the as the grid clears and suddenly all you can see is the run down to turn one, that's when your heart starts racing.
Yeah.
And yeah, pulling up to the grid and then waiting for 10, 20 seconds, it would have seemed like an age waiting for the start. And yeah, possibly that had an influence on the poor start that Alessandro Gusti had.
Yeah, his debut here, Martini Stenshall, here last year in Formula 3, and on the top step of the podium this time. Well done, and I think all drivers in that room happy to take the podium and the points that came with it, all benefiting in terms of the championship. And this, the famous podium now they're about to walk out onto. Well, let's get them out onto there then, shall we? Laurens van Hoopen was last out on a Formula 3 podium here 1 year ago, and now he returns. It's been a tough start to the season for him, but he can now really press on from here, and things can change in this championship very, very quickly. So he is still one to watch, as is Tuukka Tappinen, fourth in the championship. But that can change very quickly, and this very good points for him. As he said there, he was happy to take the points there today. Fastest out front and first to the flag though, Martinius Stenshall, his first win of the season with Height.
So Martin Stenshall being presented with the trophy by Thomas Palazzo, President of the National Council.
Martinius Stenshall gets his trophy, and that will go straight to the front of the cabinet. Well done to him. A day he will remember for a very long time. Laurens van Hoopen will be alongside Tuukka Tappinen, who we see there on screen. Well done to Tuukka, Ferrari Driver Academy member. Here's Laurens van Hoopen in third place. Well done to him. P3 returns to the podium. A double podium for ART Grand Prix, but it's High-Tech's day, their second win here in Formula 3. They've now won in both races across 3 seasons, and that's a great result for the High-Tech TGR team. All 3 drivers out, 2 teams represented is High-Tech TGR on the top step. Well done, Martini Stenshorn. Top step of the podium for him and the high-tech TGRT McLaren Junior as well. I'm sure they'll be very happy with what they are seeing looking on. Ferrari Driver Academy member to his left as we look on screen, Tuka Tappinen, Lawrence Van Hoopen to the right. Double podium for the French outfit ART Grand Prix today. And that's a very solid result for them. Great points as well in terms of their team's championship. But now, celebrations on the podium on sprint race Saturday.
Yeah, it's champagne time! Omi, what did you make of that opening race?
Brilliant, brilliant. FIA Formula 3 sprint race. Cannot wait to see what the future race is going to hold tomorrow as well. Looking forward to that one. But of course, stick with us over on JB Motorsports as we will redirect you, of course, to the Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup qualifying session as well for their race that will take place tomorrow.
Well, this is going to be a great weekend and a great lot of action. Make sure to stay with us here. Next up, it's Practice 3. And over on JB Motorsports 2, it's the MotoGP sessions. But right here, you're going to go over and take a look at the Porsche qualifying. Thanks to Omi. Thanks to you at home. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.